Northwest Florida State College presents Outlook, a public service presentation of the college and Cox Communications, focusing on the events, activities, and instructional programs of Northwest Florida State College.
Hello and welcome everyone to the spring edition of the Raider Sports Beat. I'm Ramsey Ross, Athletic Director at Northwest Florida State College, and we're very excited to be talking about spring sports. Of course, we're now getting into March and our spring sports are well underway, and joining us first will be head softball coach Jack Byerley, who's entering his sixth, or actually in the middle of his sixth season at Northwest Florida State College. Leading the softball program, done a fantastic job. Coach, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, good morning. It's kind of strange you said spring because we all still have our long johns on.
I know, right? It's been a brutal winter, and hopefully we can change that pretty quickly. But the calendar is changing, and we are in the middle of the spring sports. And I'd like to, before we get into this season, kind of take a step back and look at your program as a whole. You've experienced a ton of success, 2 Panhandle Conference championships. You made it to the regional tournament every year. What is it about your program? How have you been able to put your stamp on the program, and what is the recipe for your success?
Well, trying to be consistent with what we do every year, be it academics, be it how we run practices, how we do things in the apartments, to that people know what to expect when they come here. We're known as the boot camp of the JUCO softball ranks, and that's what we get. That's the kind of thing that we want as a reputation, because we know that makes things happen at the end. But being consistent with what you're doing, but we're in the mode right now where we've got to get back to the championship. It's been a while since we've won a championship. We get our 35, 40 wins a year, which is great. But you get the regional tournament, that's fantastic as well. Well, we've got to get past that mode. We've got to get past the mode where we're in the finals of the regional, not the semifinals or the quarterfinals. It's a situation where we're putting pressure on our kids. Let's make this thing happen.
Well, I think along with that, and the reason why you've been so successful is kind of what you alluded to. You emphasize always 2 things: hustle and play the right way. And talk about how that impacts wins. I mean, your record right now is close to 200 wins and almost like 50 losses. So your winning percentage is off the charts. You've won a lot of games, and I think those 2 things are obviously a big reason for that.
Well, hustle is part of your character. And when we recruit kids, we look at kids and see what they do. And they hustle on and off the field. They hustle on, when they're playing, whatever it might be. We look at that. And our fundamentals. That's what we teach, fundamentals all the time. Sometimes they get monotonous, but when I was in education class way back in college in the 1930s or whenever the heck it was, that's one of the things they taught you. Yeah. Overlearning enhances retention.
Absolutely.
So we overlearn what we're learning, and so it's a situation where we've got to do those fundamentals. It comes out in the game, and you see us hustle even in our warm-ups. When we hit the base pass during the announcements, we're hustling. Yeah. And so that's what it's all about. Is you've got to have that as a part of your character. Not saying I can't teach hustle. Are you kidding me? I can force you to run, but that's not what's inside. Right.
And I think that you recruit that too. So
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Now, last year, you had primarily a huge group of freshmen who went 41-16. Of course, that big core of freshmen are now sophomores, and so that's got to make you really excited because they kind of know what your expectations are. And how much of a luxury is that for you?
Oh, that's super. First time I've been here. The first time we've had that since I've been here, having over 10 sophomores returning. Right. And it's been a blessing. Right. They're teaching the freshmen. Yeah. They say, don't worry about that. He gets excited sometimes. Just take it for what it's worth. Listen to him. Don't react. Just listen to him. Absolutely. And so it's been really well. And, it's huge because they know what to expect in a game. When they come out against Panhandle teams, they're going to know what to expect. And it makes the freshmen play harder. Makes them step up their level because they know that, hey, I've got this sophomore who knows what they're talking about.
Right. And, last year we made it to the second day of the regional tournament, essentially the semifinals of the of our side of the bracket. And I remember at the end of the year, although it was disappointing, boy, it was really exciting to see what the future was because I knew those those freshmen then that are sophomores now were really hungry to have a championship season this year.
Oh, and they still are. They've hit their blurbs and stuff. They're ready for this Panhandle season to get going. We meet up this weekend in a tough tournament, the leadoff classic, and that's going to be our test. But they're ready for Panhandle,
right?
You know, and it's got a new format where we're playing everybody 3 times and that kind of stuff. But they're ready.
Yeah.
You know, they all this preliminary stuff. Let's get to the battle. You know, and if it wasn't for a broken finger, there's no telling how far we would have gone last year.
Yeah, absolutely, that's true. You know, currently you sit at 12-4. Had a very good month of February. You beat some quality opponents. As you mentioned, you go to a big tournament the first weekend of March. And then now you turn around and then host the Jimmy Stewart Classic, which is going to be a tremendous tournament with some quality teams. And then you blink, and then you're right into Panhandle Conference play. But how would you assess your first month of the season so far?
First month's been a great learning experience for our freshmen. Our pitching staff has taken the load and ran with it, and they're learning. We've been very successful.
Yeah.
You know, at 12-4, you look at 12-4, you're like, oh, well, you have 4 losses. Well, 2 of those losses are to Division II Spring Hill College, which is ranked number 2 in the nation.
Yeah.
You know, so you lose to them 3-2 and 4-2. So you say, oh, okay, that's okay, but still, it's L. And you know, we're very excited that we're at 12-4, but we feel that the preseason, as you might call it, has been very beneficial. We've gotten through a lot of the little bumps that you get in the middle of the season, and where kids are learning their roles as being part of the team. The pitching staff, you know, they've learned that I'm starting here, you're starting there, and they accept that. They know that when it's time to warm up in the bullpen, they go do it. And all those little things, you know, pitching charts and all those things that they have to do, they're getting into those now.
Well, you know, and plus, we probably should mention the fact that you're extremely battle-tested in the fall. You played a brutal schedule in the fall, played a lot of Division I teams. You played Alabama, you played Auburn, I believe, and you played several Division I teams, and so that's got to be beneficial to you as you prepare for the spring season.
Right. We were going for the ACC, the SEC, and the Sun Belt Conference Championships during the fall.
Yeah, you played Florida State as well.
Yeah, played
right?
Florida State, South Alabama, and you know, you look at South Alabama beat Georgia just this past weekend, you know, and Florida State's rocking and rolling. You know, Alabama and Auburn's undefeated. So that kind of a test in the fall will make us much better when it comes to Panhandle Conference time.
And softball and in baseball, for that matter, there's no secret to success. It always comes down to pitching. And I think you have a plethora of arms at your disposal. You have a lot of diversity. You have some hard throwers. You have some soft throwers, some junk throwers. A lot of different options to kind of keep teams off balance. That's got to get you excited about.
Did you see the smile on my face?
Yeah.
I think it's the first time we've had a great pitching staff.
Right.
Not a great pitching, but a pitching staff. We have 6. Unfortunately, 2 of them are injured right now with foot problems. But the other 4, and we have 3 sophomores that are battle tested, and we have a freshman. And you know, we're very excited with what they've done. They complement each other. You have heat, you have junk, and then you have the middle of the road kid that's going to nibble away at the corners. And then our freshman reliever, she's just total junk. She spins it everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I do want to mention, you know, the fact that you do have some tremendous local talent here. You have the Jen and Jen and Jamie Phillips,
correct,
from Fort Walton Beach High School. You also have Mallory Carpenter from Niceville High School.
No, Mallory's from Pace.
Oh, I'm sorry, from Pace. But you do have a Niceville High School product, and you have Hannah Day from Crestview. And so that's obviously something that is, they have a lot of pride in the program. Oh,
most definitely. They've been around a long time. Mallory Carpenter from Pace, and you got Reagan Andrews from Pace. You got Lauren Donaldson from Niceville. I was impressed you knew the other ones. You know, that's good. You know, and so those kids, you know, Jen and Jamie are doing a great job right now. They're making things happen. And Lauren has had a game-winning hit. Mallory had to come from behind, game-winning double against Faulkner State. You know, so those kids are contributing in many ways.
Right.
You know, so it's the local product is good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that you guys have really busted it in the classroom. You've done a tremendous job in there, and last year I think we were ranked top 10 nationally in overall team GPA for your softball program, which is a tremendous accomplishment. And this year I think we're on pace to have similar success. Talk about how much of an emphasis that is for you and how proud you are of that.
Well, we're extremely proud. When you're number 8 in the nation academically with GPA, you've got to, you know, hold out your chest a little bit higher, hold your head up a little bit higher, and the young ladies do that as well. Plus, it makes it easier to be recruited to the next level.
Right.
When they ask, Coach, well, how are her grades? I don't have to say, well, you know, it's a 2.5. No, it's a 3.6.
Yeah.
It's a 4.0, and they're saying, well, that's great. So they can take that off the page. But it's, you know, a good kid in the classroom is typically a good kid out on the field,
right,
because they want to learn. They know how to work hard. Those grades don't come easy.
Yeah.
We are a tough JUCO. We're a very tough junior college. And so it's a situation where, if I can get it done in the class, I can get it done on the field. And they're battle tested in the classroom as well as on the field. This weekend when we're gone away, several of them have tests that they have to take. They'll have to get online Saturday night and take a test. Well, they're going to do that and they'll get it taken care of. So, but if you got the academics straight, typically your life is straight, and it makes much easier to take care of things otherwise.
Yeah, it's a very structured program that you run, and I think both of them work hand in hand, obviously. I do want to mention before we close here, the Panhandle Conference, you kind of alluded to, it's a little bit different this year. We used to play home and home doubleheaders, but now we've added another rotation to that where we play each team 3 times for 3 doubleheaders. Talk a little about how that might change the landscape of the Panhandle Conference.
Well, it's going to be very interesting because, if you have an injury at the beginning, you'll have somebody that can come back at the end. Folks that came close at the beginning, they can take it to you at the end. You learn those teams.
Right.
Baseball's done this forever, I think. They've played the 3-game series or home or whatever it is, and you find that, there's some upsets in between there because you've got to be ready all the time. And, it came about because folks around the country didn't want to play the Panhandle Conference.
Yeah.
We couldn't get games. Yeah. And so we're saying, well, let's just play each other. What the heck? Make us tougher. We're going to get teams into the tournament, and maybe we'll be tougher getting in the tournament. And so we're kind of excited about it. I
think it's going to be great, as you alluded to, in the fact that these are the games that the players want to play. Right. It matters, and I think if you look at the conference, it's going to be strong as always. Look at the records. I think Chapola's got a similar record to what we have, and Tallahassee's got it rolling, and so it's going to be a tremendous season. And then, of course, this year is the last year that the state tournament's going to be at Pensacola, which is a short drive for our fans, and I think they've done a good job over there.
Oh, we've had great fan support. The other night, our first home game when we played Faulkner State, it was cold, and the bleachers were full. And then 2 weekends ago when we had that rain out, but we started the game, the bleachers there were a lot of folks there. So we're very excited. And when the fans come to Pensacola, our bleachers are packed all the way around. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having some home games.
Home
you played
games.
A lot of road games.
Well, you're going to have plenty of those because we start next Tuesday, and then we go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Absolutely.
Saturday.
Well, the girls deserve it, and hopefully we can have some warm weather. Well, Coach, thank you very much for joining us. We're looking forward to great things. And again, I know it's a recurring theme of this show, and you'll hear me say it a lot of times, but I'm extremely excited about this year and what the prospects hold.
Oh, we're very excited too, and thanks for the pressure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap it up here with Coach Byerley, but when we come back, we'll be joined with 6-year head coach Doug Martin of the baseball program talking Raider baseball.